Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. So what I actually want to do in this video while it's still fresh on my mind is actually give a little bit of a review of the new Beatrush differential bushings. I just installed them a few days ago. I've been driving the car ever since, kind of getting a feel for it and seeing if I really felt a big difference, because for such a small detail and such a small modification, you know, for about $120, $130 or so, I really didn't expect much. So overall, the install, as you guys saw in my last video, was very straightforward. It's literally just a bushing, a slip-in bushing that goes right into the differential carrier. What it does, it actually eliminates the amount of drivetrain loss, the amount of slop, amount of play, and it gives it a more direct feel. And like I said, I really wasn't expecting much. I know bushings always make the car feel better or can feel worse if you install the wrong ones, but overall, I didn't really know what to expect. And I am unbelievably surprised at what this did for the car. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be able to show it because it's under the car with the diffuser and everything, but like I said, you guys saw the video on it. If you didn't, it's in the top right corner for you guys to check it out. Like I said, I was driving it for a few days and I am unbelievably surprised at how much this actually changed the driving experience. What this actually did for me, at least what I'm experiencing, I've been driving this car for almost 6 years now, so I know everything about it, all the ins and outs, and honestly changed the whole experience in terms of the jerkiness and how the car feels when you're shifting, especially when you're driving it harder. You can really notice it. There's no like jolting back and forth. It just feels so much smoother. And honestly, I was taken back about how much that actually changed. It's just those differential bushings. I didn't change anything else yet. And it was just such a pleasant surprise. Driver modifications are always my favorite because it really changes how the car feels. It really changes your experience while you're driving the car overall. And just those bushings made such a huge difference. Honestly, I wouldn't be saying that. I wouldn't be recommending it. I wouldn't be telling you guys to go install it if I didn't think so. If I didn't feel anything at all, I would say that. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not sponsored by Beatrush or anything like that. This is just my review, my findings of what I have noticed driving this car with the newly installed Beatrush bushings. Now, a lot of people are also telling me to install the Beatrush differential carrier. Not necessarily Beatrush, just an upgraded carrier or mount in general. I do plan on doing that, and most likely I'm going to pick up the Beatrush one just because I enjoy the product and I think it's a very nicely made product as well. So I'm probably going to pick that one up. But the reason why I didn't get one yet or install it is because I am somebody that likes to install things one by one and experience it, because that way I'm able to give a good feedback, a good review on that specific product. One thing I don't like doing is installing a bunch of stuff at once and then trying to break it down and saying, oh, this does that, that does this. And this way, installing one thing at a time allows me to kind of break it down, let you know exactly what it changes and then kind of go from there. So now that I installed the bushings and then we can do the carrier later down the road, I can let you know exactly how much the carrier changes it, how much the bushings change it, and just what it feels like with everything together. Now, you guys know I do have some other driver modifications to install as well. We have the parent transmission mount. We're also installing a larger front sway bar as well. And also, you guys, I just talked about it, I'm going to do the Beatrush differential carrier as well. But I'm telling you, these bushings alone changed the whole entire feel of this car. Shifting from 1 to 2 especially, the jerkiness is just completely gone. Everything feels so much smoother, just so much more precise. It honestly feels like this is the way the car should have come from the factory. Obviously, this car is very jerky to begin with. It's kind of hard to drive smoothly, especially if you've never driven one before. So installing those bushings alone is going to make a big difference just how this car feels and drives alone. Now, I was doing some in-cabin footage, as you guys just saw, and I was kind of trying to show just how it felt shifting, but it was really hard to show on camera. It's one of those things that you just need to feel in person. But if you look on some old videos and everything, I mean, I'm able to drive this car pretty smoothly just from driving it for so many years and so many miles. But if you guys noticed in the driving footage, the in-cabin footage, you may notice that it was so much smoother from each gear. There was no jerkiness, there was no overhang of the revs or anything like that. Everything just went into gear super smooth, and it just felt fantastic. Now, believe me, I'm not just here saying like, oh, these are great just because I installed it and I paid for it. Again, I am not about that type of review. I'm not that type of person that's going to recommend something unless I didn't think it was worth it. And for the price of these things, I think it was, like I mentioned, it was about 120, 130 bucks or so. Some people may find that expensive just for some bushings, but honestly, with how this car feels with just those bushings installed, I honestly, it's hard to not recommend them. Really simple install. It only took me about 20-25 minutes to install the actual bushings. It took me a little bit longer since I had to remove part of my exhaust as well as the diffuser to get to it. But overall, just the actual differential bushing install, super simple, very easy, and it's a big difference. So I cannot recommend them enough. I will link them below for you guys if you are interested in picking them up. So I just wanted to give you guys a review on that, since I did mention I will give you a little bit more feedback on them once I got some seat time with it. While it's still fresh in my mind, and before we start installing more driver modifications, I wanted to get this video out, explain my initial thoughts and feelings of it, because I don't want that to get lost once I start installing more things and it kind of get lost in the whole mix of everything. So I was glad I was able to do this video, let you guys know just what I feel with the new Beatrush differential bushings. Amazing product, super simple install, and it really changes the overall driving experience for the better. So that's it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all about the differential bushings or anything else on this car, be sure to ask them below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.